Emma Raducanu's top 10 ranking called an outlier, as U.S. Open seed becomes new target. Emma Raducanu's rise to world number 10 in 2022 is being described as an outlier by former British tennis player Barry Cowan, who believes the ranking stemmed largely from her unexpected U.S. Open triumph. Raducanu made history in 2021 by winning the U.S. Open as an 18-year-old qualifier, and she climbed to a career-high ranking of number 10 just 9 months later in July 2022. Since then, however, her path has been less consistent. Though recent performances suggest an upward trend, the 22-year-old has shown renewed form this season, reaching the semifinals in both singles and doubles at the WTA 500 tournament in Washington. She recently defeated Elena Gabriela Ruse in the first round of the WTA 1000 event in Montreal, further building on her momentum after bringing coach Mark Pecci into her team earlier this year. Cowan praised her decision to play doubles, noting it's a valuable way for a young player to keep developing. At her age and stage, she should be aiming to improve every week and close the gap between her and the top players, Cowan told Tennis Head. Right now, she's not a top 10 or even a top 20 player. Yes, she was, but that was due to the U.S. Open, an exceptional event. I see that ranking as an anomaly. He continued, if she manages to get seeded for the U.S. Open this year, considering where she started the season, that would be a huge achievement. It would mean she's made significant progress. Cowan also addressed Raducanu's history of frequent coaching changes, a topic that has followed her since her breakout success. She's gone against the norm, he said. Most players between 19 and 23 need consistency in coaching. They need a stable message to help guide their development. Of course, it doesn't make sense to stay with a coach if the chemistry is wrong. But ideally, you'd want that consistent voice. Raducanu has previously expressed her preference for short coaching stints, learning what she can from each before moving on. Cowan, however, questioned this approach. She's always operated that way, even as a junior. But in my opinion, that goes against what history tells us works. Despite his critiques, Cowan acknowledged Raducanu's recent progress. I think she's had a good year, he said. People focus too much on the big losses, to IGA, Swiatek in Australia and the French Open, or Aryna Sabalenka at Wimbledon. But I thought she played well at Wimbledon overall, and in many of those matches. Cowan emphasized the importance of smaller events in building consistency and confidence. She won a Grand Slam before she had regular success on tour, which is quite rare. If she's going to reach the top 10 or top 20 again, she needs to turn strong performances at smaller tournaments, like Washington or Eastbourne, into semifinals, finals, and eventually titles. That's where the real growth will come from. And she's not quite there yet.